everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you had an amazing week as usual. Now, a few videos ago I made a video that's done pretty well, and that was making some forks for this bike. And it's about time I put them to the test, isn't it? Now, the elephant in the room, where are my carbon forks? Because yeah, these are obviously not the super lightweight pimp ones that I made. Well, they broke. I think a lot of people expected it. I kind of expected it, but I was hopeful that they would last at least a little bit of time. They lasted about 20 minutes, and essentially they went at the crown. Nothing actually snapped. It's just the glue, the bond didn't hold, and the leg started to kind of rattle inside the crown. Now, to be fair, I did put them through some pretty harsh abuse. I wanted to do a bunny tap, which is a really forceful move trying to bend the forks back. And then I went into a static hook, took off the back brake and literally hung all my weight on the fork, on the corner, trying to flex it the other way. And I think those two extremes was just too much for them. And yeah, the bond went, and that was the end of those. Then I decided to go out and try my backup forks with the actual suspension stanchion instead of a carbon tube. And they broke even quicker. To be fair, these are those forks. They didn't break anywhere near the crown or the legs. It was my dropout execution that failed. What I didn't realise, and I don't know how I missed it, was that the stanchions barely made it into the dropouts. I was sure that I'd got them in quite deep, but it turns out they're literally only in there by a couple of millimetres, and I removed too much material and the dropouts cracked and broke. Now, both of these failures were pretty safe. I didn't hurt myself at all, so it's not knocked my confidence. So I went and modified the second fork, the stanchion fork, with some beefier dropouts, much better insertion, much better glue, and they seem to be holding up pretty well from the tests I've done so far. Enough that I'm confident to bring them out for an actual ride quite away from home and see how they cope today. So that's what I'm going to do today. See if I can break these forks on some rocks. Doesn't sound very fun when I put it like that. Now, before I actually get to the rocks, there's this slag heap here, which is actually really steep down the sides, and it's a really cool looking thing to ride. I'd love to come with an e-bike and do like a hill climb challenge one day. But one thing I've seen here is rolling down this. Now, you won't get to see how steep this is from this angle, but that's pretty steep. Can I do this controlled, or am I just going to go really fast? Well, slow and controlled went out the window. There's no stopping on that, it's so loose, but survived it. That was a good start of the day. Let's go find some rocks. 25-30 meters away from where I've just ridden, we've got a rock and a spiky bush that I'll try not to fall in, but it's a rock, so let's get up it. No hops, that went well. Found a couple of cool rocks here with a nice gap. Nothing too spectacular, but I can't resist giving it a try. Oh, well, that went pretty well. Nice. Found a bit more of a fork test on the other side of this rock here. Got kind of a nice, just off vertical face. Now I reckon that could maybe hook or even bunny tap up, either which, if they're possible. It's going to be a serious test of these forks, so let's see if I can remotely get up it. Do I pedal it or do I bunny hop it? That is the question. Slowest run up ever. Honestly, on camera this will look like the smallest move ever, but with a soft uphill, cornered, is that a word? Run up. This actually is way harder than it looks. Trust me. Well, there's a test of the fork. And that's why I cover the front brake when doing stuff like this. There we go. It's one of those things that when you do get everything timed right, it actually goes really easy. A hook that's just off vertical, that's laid back like that, is so much easier than an actual vertical hook. If you get your weight remotely forwards enough, you just roll up them. So I knew that would go. It was literally just the run up that was making that hard. Oh. So there we go, the fork survived its first hook. And I don't think it even noticed it. No issues whatsoever. And by the way, these are actually pretty stiff as well, and exactly the same weight as my inspired forks I had on before. So riding wise, I can't really tell any difference. I think it is slightly lower because I miscalculated just a little bit. I do actually have spacers in the bottom of these dropouts just to bring it up a little bit, but it's around 15mm shorter than my previous forks, like inspired forks. To make up for this, I've put a slightly higher stem on just to bring up my bars a little bit, but yeah, I think they're really cool. What do you think? So I've hooked it. The other move that I wanted to do that I mentioned was a tap up it, where you hit your front wheel against the edge and that gives your bike upwards momentum, which you then use to fly up to both wheels. There we go, perfect. That was perfect. The run up was the best power delivery I had yet. Hit the absolute sweet spot, had my weight exactly the right spot. That just flew up, so that is such a nice feeling. And the forks didn't flinch. That felt really good. They felt just the right stiffness. No creaks, no grumbles. Just did the job, got up the rock. Stoked. Right, let's find something else to test these forks on. So here I am in the main part of the quarry. I've only ever been here once, and that was on my mountain bike. I don't know why I've never come here on my trials bike before, because this place is awesome. This is my kind of place, and it reminds me of quarries close to where I used to live down in England. I used to love it there. Peaceful, quiet, no one around, some amazing rocks to ride. Yeah, this is awesome. First thing I'm going to try is a hook up this. This will be a fork test because I'm going to have to go up, basically hang off the fork and then jump up to the back wheel. So it's going to flex the fork out front ways quite a lot. Let's see if it copes. You have to have quick feet if you want to get off the bike in places like this. Oh, this brings back memories. Watch out for the camera. Well, I've hooked this a few times now to get a few different angles and it's going pretty well. Forks are coping fine. So let's try and just tap it, ram that front wheel right into the face of this and see if I can get straight up to back wheel. Not far off. Practically a nose manual up that one then. Hit that just a little bit too low. Uh-oh, too low again. keep on nose manualing a bit. Haha, love it. That would be cool. Swap it up to there. Oh, that would be tech. Oh, quick feet. Oh. What even is that move? Whatever it is, it's awesome. Ah! Well, I think that was the best yet. Oh, so pleased with that. I'm so hungry. Now, getting across those rocks there with the technique I just used is actually one of the best things I've done for a long time. But that's kind of the trouble with rocks, in that I reviewed the footage and it maybe doesn't look as impressive as some street stuff, but believe me, that was one of the most technical things I've ever done, and I'm absolutely stoked on that. Now, I've ridden these pile of rocks enough now, so let's have an explore and see what else this quarry can provide. Found a disgusting line here. I'm actually not sure if I can do it, but kind of fancy giving it a try. It'd be hard on this bike because I've got to jump pretty far and hook the front wheel over the top of that tall pointy one there. Now that's pretty narrow on top, so that's like a classic modern trials move. Classic modern, well, you know what I mean. You hang on it and then try and jump up to back wheel. It's going to be scary because if you don't make it, you've got to somehow find somewhere to put your feet down here, but that's assuming I can jump that distance, because I genuinely don't know if I can. I reckon I might be able to. I can actually back hop properly. I've set up my camera to try and capture that, but filming natural is tough, especially on a locked off camera. Ideally you need someone here to kind of follow you as you go further away from the camera, but I'm on my own, so I have to make do. I'm going to adjust the section a little bit. Oh boy, that is a big jump. I'm going to try and give myself a little bit more bounce and let a tiny bit of air out of my tyre. Now the compromise here is the more air I let out, the less predictable my tyre is going to be, because I've got relatively narrow rims compared with a comp bike. So if I've gone anything off camber with soft tyres, my tyres will just fold and ping me off kind of any direction. I didn't trust it. I should have trusted it. Well, I didn't want to celebrate too early, but I was so stoked with that. And the fork, you champ, absolutely shrugged that off. Found a pretty cool rock here, pretty big, but it's got this ledge on it, which if I can get onto that and then try and get up to the top, that'd be a really cool line. The only thing is, that is quite high off the floor, and I've been trying to figure out how I can get up onto that and in a position where I can then go up onto the top. Then I spotted this rock over here, and I reckon this is possibly a way I can do it. If I can get set up there, I can send it into front wheel, twist a little bit, end up facing down the rock, and then maybe launch up, turn and go. So I'm going to set up the camera and try and send that. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh. Well, that was kind of cool in its own right. Oh, you're kidding me, that's perfect. There we go. That drop was interesting, but got the line. Excellent. All right, everyone, after getting up this rock here, which I'm so stoked on, I'm going to leave this video on a high. Today was a super successful test of my homemade fork. It is stiff, it is strong, it's not creaked, it's not complained, it's done the job really, really well. And yeah, I really love it. I'm so proud of myself. Not that I really did much to it, I just put some dropouts on, but yeah, I'm so stoked with how it's turned out. And also, I'm going to put this out there, if anyone does have some Kashima uppers that they don't want anymore and just would like to see them used in the channel, I'd love to make a Kashima version of these forks. So send me a DM in the unlikely chance you're willing to do that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you want to see early released footage with a few more extra clips, I do have Patreon available. I also have merch available at Clarkson.com, or if you just want to consider a tip jar, I do have a PayPal donation link down below as well. Any one of those really does help support me and continue to make my content. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I'll catch you next time, so have a good one, take care, see you later.